What's up, y'all? This is Kenya. I am super excited. It's been a while, like a while since we came back with a podcast, but we're here. That's all that matters. We're here right now, right? So I'm super excited because this is our next edition of All Things Loop. It's our women's edition. And the women's edition is very special to me because I'm going to be featuring women that I'm really inspired by, that I've been following and I've been like silently stalking a little bit too, but I think it's a good thing in a way, So that's a good stalk. But I have for my first cover story is Miss Amanda Yvette. How you doing?
Good girl. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We here. We here.
Yes.
We here.
Yeah.
My first question is, tell me about who is Amanda. Like, tell me all about who Amanda is.
Man, so the first thing I will say is that I'm a lover of God. That's number one.
Yeah.
Let's just start with that, right?
Yeah.
Everything that I am comes from Him. So I am a former educator and assistant principal. Yes, ma'am. I was
For how many years?
I was in education for 10 years. And then I went to get my master's in administration and leadership, was offered the position and obeyed God and left to
this interview about to take a whole twist, turn, whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
go
ma'am.
ahead.
Yes, ma'am. And so, former educator, still an educator, really, because even with a product, I educate.
Yeah,
that platform probably comes later in the game when you're building a business, but after that, there'll be more education that comes along.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's former. Before I was an educator, I was in entertainment.
Wow.
So I
can see it. Yeah. I can see that.
I sung with Women and the Soul Children of Chicago for years. So background vocals, and I'm also signed model, actress, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. You can see all that you say. You know how someone you can meet and you be like, oh, like you leave a lasting impression on anyone, just like for the 5 minutes we came in, it's like, okay, you're that entertainer, you're that educator, like you're all there.
Yeah.
So tell me about childhood for Amanda. Like, what was childhood like for Amanda?
So, I mean, most of my childhood I remember was a lot of play. Like I'm a very playful child, like even adult as of right now. But my childhood was much more in training. So I was in ballet, jazz, tap. I was in theater, heavy theater. I actually feel like I want to go back to theater, actually. And then I did voice all until I was 18. So I was heavily involved in sports, right? And then heavily in entertainment growing up as a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about just like your parents and how that was for you growing up. How was that life for you?
My childhood with my parents, in connection to my parents, was actually very hard. So my mom was a single parent. I was the only child of her second marriage.
Okay.
What I can say, now looking back, experiencing like the actual spiritual legacy of my parents, like the facets of having my mom, who was in customer service with ComEd for 35 years.
Jesus.
And seeing that woman get dressed every day, I didn't know that would influence how I look and how I dress, how I present myself every day. And then my father actually worked for the steel mill for years. There was an issue that happened where they wanted him to take the blame for something that happened with the ship. He didn't do it. He didn't take the blame.
Wow.
And my father started his business. I don't know what age or grade that was, but he started his business. So he has a landscaping business.
Even now?
Even now.
Wow.
So that was the same business that paid child support, okay?
Thank God for the landscaping business.
Right. So I look at the great things that I have on the inside of me, which is the comedy and the ambition, the hard working, the figure it out that I got from my parents. But I think the hardship was parents were together for 10 years. They are divorced and just functioning as an adult with, I think that we go on in life sometimes having identity issues, right?
Absolutely.
And as an only child, right? I have siblings from my mom's first marriage, but we didn't grow up together. So not having that bond, with any of, my siblings, and my parents being older. My mom is 70, my father is 65. And so just kind of navigating life as an only child, not having the family, of course, that I wanted, but also in that forgiveness, right? Seeing that not only much they gave me, like seeing the blessing of the parents that I had.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm being honest, because there was so much other things I couldn't have had, but it really made, it was fortitude for today.
Yeah. I read your bio, and it was just talking about, you know, how your mom really took a chance on like allowing you to do so much.
Yeah.
And I don't think now that I'm a parent and the sacrifices that I've made already, I didn't appreciate my parents. I don't feel like I appreciated them as much as I could have.
Yeah.
So tell us about just the sacrifices that your mother made, even with your healing, with your asthma and all that. So tell me about that whole piece.
Yeah. So my mom got into a car accident. I feel like my mom is a drive demon. I don't know what she be doing with driving. But girl, what be going on with you? Like she be just outside. So my mom has had some cars, baby, but she had a Cutlass Supreme back in the day, a red one.
Oh,
yes, ma'am. And she ended up getting a slip disc from a car accident. Wow. So she started working with a chiropractor instead of surgery. Even now, I think she has back issues and stuff like that. But that being said, you know, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood and school.
Wow.
I think out of the 60 in our class from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, it may have been, I was probably like 1 out of 5 people of color, right? And so growing up, I started to gain weight.
Yeah.
Right. Because I had exercise-induced asthma.
Wow.
What I did not understand, I told her, I said, I want to play because I wanted to lose weight. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to, you know, be unhealthy and things of that sort. But she said, hey, you can't do that. You know, you have asthma. So the chiropractor, you know, they talked and he was like, well, hey, bring her here.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, how would a chiropractor help, you know, those type of things?
Right.
And lo and behold, he talked about muscle memory and he talked about how you can train your muscles. They're just like anything else. And lungs are muscles.
Right.
So we haven't trained her asthma. It's exercise induced, meaning that if we give it the opposite, it may not be exercise induced asthma anymore.
Right.
So let's induce exercise. Wow. So we induce exercise. And of course I had an inhaler and things of that sort. But he asked me, he said, do me a favor. When you start to have asthma attack, visualize your lungs actually breathing correctly and slow down. So man, we had suicides. We did this, we did that. And I remember the whole team being like super scared and afraid every time I have an asthma attack. And I had my inhaler and things like that. But I would visualize my lungs. And once you took a break, right, you would stop breathing anyway.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, so I began to trust my body.
Yeah.
And over time, girl, I don't know the last time I took an inhaler.
Wow.
I started to not use certain perfumes and dyes. Red dye 44. We ripped up carpet like in the apartment that we had. My mom never cleaned with chemicals when I was there. So when I would leave, go to my father's house, she would use chemicals then.
Yeah.
And then steadily that moved me into a place where I wasn't scared or afraid to exercise.
Wow.
And exercise and health became one of my regulations. I believe it really truly helped me with PTSD that I think I even had when my parents went through divorce.
Wow.
Diagnosed me with ADHD. She was like, oh, the medication is, you know, a lot. Looking backwards, ADHD and PTSD have similar characteristics.
Yeah.
Happened the same month that my parents got separated.
Wow.
Right. But they didn't have language. We didn't have access to mental health.
Not then.
No.
Absolutely. I think mental health now is starting to be a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But still not even the main thing, you know? Because in our world, dealing with the mental health means you're a punk.
Yeah.
Or that, you know, you just can't handle the stress.
Right.
And it's totally opposite than that, really, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What tools are you going to use for stress? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Are you just supposed to live? How are you going to live?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Bible actually says life and life more abundantly.
Yeah.
Right. So of course we're given life, but abundance, that is actually work. You know what I'm saying? That's access. Yeah. And so, I mean, I totally agree. I thank God for that process for sure.
Okay. So in 2020, that's when Pink Moths first launched, correct?
Yeah.
And it sold out immediately.
It did.
What was your response to that? Like, what was that feeling like?
Let me take you back to something.
Okay.
So literally, I don't even know how to explain this, but I went to get the CMOS and they were basically sold out. So I said, I'm going to make my own, right? And when I was at home, making my own, I just made it for myself.
Right.
So that same day in that group chat, the ladies were like, we need some too. Great. So in that, when I was sitting there actually writing everything out, and it was so crazy because I had the beet juice and the aloe with me in the house, but I was like, well, that's going to be pink. And I remember looking at my notes and saying like, pink moss? I can make pink moss? Well, yeah, I can, since I have this beet juice and I have this aloe, right? So I literally prayed that night and I said, God, if it is your will for me to like do something with this outside of just making it for these ladies, like let me know. The next morning when I woke up, I looked at my devotional and it said, I will bless the work of your hands.
That's so good.
So I'm like, so I looked in the Hebrew, I looked in the Greek,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Let me study what's going on.
Yes, like what does that actually mean? And that was my confirmation. So honestly, when I look at the blessing, the work of your hands, it means that multiplication, right? Grace and peace be multiplied unto you, right? And so when that 60, I was like, this was obviously God's will. And that was insane to me. I couldn't believe it. I was just happy. I was excited. And for the first time, I had a space where both of my passions met. I love health, right? I mean, but I'm also in the beauty industry because I model, right? And so it was merging those two things together. And so now we're just trying to rebuild that back, but it was exciting.
What's so different about your CMOS versus everybody else's CMOS?
Why is it different?
Why is it different?
So I never call pink moss CMOS because it isn't CMOS.
Okay.
And so most people are always like, well, why is it the price that it is and all those things like that, right? Because it's a premium product. It's a product all by itself. So the CMOS, the beet juice, and the aloe give you the effects that it gives you.
Okay.
So when people have this very clear skin, when they have very high energy, that all comes from the synergy of pink moss.
Okay.
So you won't be able to get like CMOS at a store and get the same benefits you get from mine.
Okay.
All three of these products that are copyrighted, right?
Period.
Everything.
Period.
Trademark.
Period. Period.
If you don't get my exact product, you won't get those results.
Wow.
So if people have taken CMOS before, in my product, it's greater and it's more. So that's really what you're going to get from it, because it's going to give you oxygen, not only to your blood, but also to your blood cells, right? This is going to make a change in your actual brain activity and your chemical reactions, right? Then that aloe, the aloe's always been a game changer for our community. You put it on your skin, you put it on your hair, you put it on your edges. Like it's one of those things that you could take by itself.
Right.
But for me to put 3 products in one, that really was the game changer. And that is why the product took off like it did. Not because it's different, because it's its own product.
Wow.
So it's not CMOS. So that's why I always usually correct people because that's what they think it is. So they may compare it to somebody else's. But it's like, no, you've never had it before.
Because it's pink moss.
It's pink moss.
Absolutely.
And I mean that. We're actually in connection with someone right now that's doing like samplings of it to actually figure out like what is the chemical makeup of it that actually affects us the way that it does.
Wow.
So we're moving on that way.
What role do you feel the holistic and the wellness part took in the divorce of your parents? Like how did that work for you?
The holistic care that I was receiving from like the chiropractor?
Yes. Did it?
I would say I think that the most helpful thing that I can look back on that I experienced through my parents' separation and divorce had to have been community, because it was just me, my mom, and my dad, right? And if I'm just being honest, like it was a lot.
No,
it was a lot, right? And I talked to my mom just about this recently. But it was unstable, emotionally unstable, mentally unstable, physically unstable, right? And so that being said, I think what anchored me is that, oddly enough, going to this small school with 60 people, though I was 1 out of 5 people of color, right? I hate what we experienced, even when it was 2020 and we were back in that space of like segregation. I couldn't believe it, because even with Swedish people and Irish people and Italian people, I can't remember a time that I thought that these people were different than me. I never thought that they were different. We were all the same. It didn't matter what race anybody was. They picked me up from school, took me to school. I still talk to those people today.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And so of course we went to school from kindergarten to 8th grade. But I want to say that was the biggest thing that probably, because I had family at school. And I think that if I still reached out to those people today, that I could go and see them. I've gone to their weddings. I've seen and met their children.
Yeah.
And so that was the one thing that I think carried me out throughout that divorce and separation. It gave me stability.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Let's transition to pink moss.
Yeah.
Let's like this has been a movement.
Yeah.
Like a real movement. And it's a product that's really changing people's lives, like for real.
Right.
And when I was reading it, it was saying about how you just got it when you was dreaming. And it was like, so just talk about pink moss. Like, what is that? How did you come up with it? And for it to change so many people's lives, like
so I think we're at year 5. Actually coming up this month. We are at 900 clients.
Wow.
Together, and I believe we may have only had, not only, but it's pretty nice chunk, about 30% returning, which is not bad, because returning was retainer. Retainer a worthy amount. Right. And so but during the pandemic, I was an online teacher at the time, and during the pandemic, everyone had talked about CMOS, right? And so I'm a health person. Like, I have my health and wellness coaching certificate from Soma Institute. I obviously had a love for holistic health from the very beginning, being healed from it. That chiropractor literally walked me through asthma. And then from there, I began to get addicted to supplementation. So certain vitamins that would give me energy that I needed, which is so important now today. But I've healed my body from candida. I mean, the list goes on and on. I used to have fibroids. So I became a vegan. And that shrunk. I don't have fibroids anymore. It's like your body literally returns back to itself. How we as children return back to our real selves as we get older. If you give your body what it needs, it does the same thing. And so I had an infatuation with that. And in 2020, I went somewhere to get CMOS. The line was too long. So I ordered it myself. And cleaned it myself. And I had some beet juice that I drink every day. And I had some aloe that I used to put on my face all the time. I need to be using it now, child. I put on my face all the time. And I was in a chat of ladies that was working out at home. And so that being said, all of them needed CMOS. And I was like, well, my CMOS has beet juice and aloe in it. You guys are more than welcome. And in that week, 7 of the girls from the group bought the jars. And then by Friday, after I sent out text messages, we were at 60. And so I used that money to build the website and build a marketing, I would say, campaign. And then from there, it just took off. And that was like April in 2020. And that was crazy.
Took off. I seen it's in stores now, right?
Yes.
What stores is in?
So we have one in Southtown. We have Southtown Health Food Stores on 95th and Hoyne. And then we're also at a juice bar that is Black owned called Benny's Beats on 103rd and Hill. And then we also are looking at 2 more locations in Indiana. So we have a Highland location and a Maryville. And we're looking to get in North Chicago right now. I have my eyes on something because that more so is our target market. So just kind of figuring out, the marketing part and piece.
It's so inspiring, like for real. Like, it's so inspiring. I don't know how I came across you. I think it was Asia. I think it's Asia. Asia is one of my really good friends. She's one of my really good friends, and I believe that's the way that I did. And I was trying to get to your launch, but I think it was on Juneteenth.
It was.
And
everybody was everywhere.
Yeah, and I was everywhere. I was at my church, and I was like, I want to support. I really, really want to support. But I was like, I got to be at my church. So I was like, how else can I support? And so that's when I did the feature. But I was so inspired because I saw a Black woman killing it. I saw a Black woman that I can say, dang, you know how some people just look at people and be like, no, I was inspired. Like, oh my goodness, like, she's really killing the game. And she seems like she's so personable.
Yes.
And, you know, she's like laughable. And so
I love people. So
yeah, you know, so that's why I really, really wanted to do the interview with you, because I was just super inspired. Like super inspired, like super like, yo, she gotta like be killing the game.
Right.
Like, so Pink Mouse, like, what are you gonna do with it? Like, well, what's the next steps
First of
with
all,
it?
I love Asia Krinkar. I've known Asia since college.
Really?
Yeah.
She's
so
one
I
of my
was
really good friends.
I was a youth leader with one of her friends, Norris Jackson, that went to Columbia with her.
Okay, yeah.
His father was my pastor at the time.
Okay.
So we did youth leadership together, and that's how I was introduced to Asia. And yeah, I've been friends with and known Asia for years. And so that is because she's a crazy amazing at branding, and the list goes on and on.
Man.
Consulting and marketing, advertising. She has a knack for that.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I had no idea. So right now, so it has been very rocky. So our biggest 2 years were 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
My mother got sick in 22.
Okay.
And mind you, God had already told me, leave your job in 2020. And for me, I'm like, they sent me back to school to get my leadership in the administration degree. Okay. They're gonna put a contract on the table for $100,000, right? So you're telling me the daughter, right, of a farmer, right? My father grew up not even be able to get the access that he needed, right? Even when it came to schooling and things of that sort, because we had to work a farm, right? So my father worked his butt off to, of course, get his GED, get his education, become a security guard, get a good job, right? And then to be having a whole functioning business, right? Like, what a superstar. Yeah. And so same thing, you know, with my mom. She was a teenage mother, right? So having your first child as a teenager, I'm your last one, child. I know she was like, no way.
Like what?
I know she was mad.
How old was she when she had you?
I think she had to be in her 30s. So mom is 70 now, and I'm 37.
Okay.
Right? So I don't know what that is, child, because I left education way back when. Okay. And so it was rocky because my mom needed a caretaker. Okay. So I was getting my master's degree, interning as a principal.
Wow.
Running my business. At the time, I had 2 interns and 2 employees, right? And
this is all for Pink Mouse.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so I'm running my business, right? And then I'm actually, and what's really interesting is I'm actually able to handle the schooling, my business, and teaching. Yeah. Right. And that really comes from, I have a large capacity, and it comes from balance. Okay. But when my mom got sick, girl, bye. That changed my life forever. I didn't really have the support that I needed. And so my business suffered greatly. Yeah. So in 22 to 24, 22 to 23, made sure that my mom was well. And then that is when I got sick. Wow. Because I was burnt out. Yeah. And like didn't even know. Yeah. And so I had I had a pelvic floor injury that literally took me from, I want to say 23 until now to even heal holistically. Wow. So, and this is when I finally took the leap. So in 23, I finally left my job. The Lord told me to leave it. I'm figuring out how to, do everything. Girl, couldn't do anything. Yeah. Couldn't do anything. And so just this year, I did that relaunch. Girl, I remember having an anxiety attack before that. Oh. I had a panic attack, full blown.
You should have seen what happened to me. I can't tell you on camera. Baby, you should have seen, because this is not like a relaunch. However, it's me coming back in a different way. Yeah. And so the attack is so real. The mental stress,
the anguish,
it is so real. So I understand when you were saying like the anxiety, like you had to be crazy out your mind. But however, it went well, didn't it?
Yeah. That launch. So we relaunched this year, and I didn't know how much I needed. So I have a business partner that I actually met. The Lord told me to go to a park one day, right? Okay. I went to the park. I'm like, I don't want to go to the park. Yeah. I don't want to go to the park. But I'm learning how stubborn I am, right? And I just don't listen. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? Last time I listened to God, that was a wrap.
Absolutely.
Right? And so that being said, I went to the park. I met someone And her name is Erica Morgan Jackson. She did all of my branding. So she revamped my website. She's been doing all the work that I needed, that I could have never done to even really scale.
Absolutely.
All the things that I couldn't even figure out while I was still on the ground running.
Yeah.
And so we launched. There was over 100 people at that launch party.
I was trying to get there.
Crazy. It sold out and everybody volunteered. The Erica who ran my table, Kiana who ran my photo booth, my DJ volunteer, my principal who I left.
DJs don't volunteer.
Expensive. You know, our audio people are expensive.
Very.
My principal came and made vegan cupcakes, made sure everybody had it. Benny's Beats supplied the juice for the event. Mm-hmm. And we actually gave the highest sales to the store on that day that they've had all year. Because they not only bought my product, they went and actually patronized the actual business. So, girl, that was crazy. So we're in our first quarter, right? And so now I'm looking at 3 other locations and looking at our sales and looking at, like, I'm at the space now where it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the numbers look like because I know what was said.
Yeah.
So the reality is that I actually have to be the leader that says, I have to figure this out. God, how? What is next? How do I pivot? What do I do next? What do I focus on? So right now I am in the sector of focusing on marketing because the thing that gave me the most success in the first 2 years was me.
Yeah.
I was the personality. I was the advertisement. I was the TikTok. I was the reel. I was the video. I was, even at my...
You was everything.
I was everything.
Yeah.
But I was mainly the entertainer.
Yeah.
I was mainly the person that I was the face of the brand.
Yeah.
Well, rebuilding, I haven't been able to be the face of the brand because all my capacity goes to inventory. It goes to delivery. It goes to production. It goes to that commercial kitchen. It goes to stocking, restocking, shipping, right?
Yeah.
It goes to bookkeeping. It goes to quarterly sales tax. It goes to the accounting part, right? And so that being said, now we're in a space where I am getting ready to hire again.
Okay.
The sales from my company have to go to me hiring, right?
Yeah.
So now I got to figure out, well, how do I take care of myself?
Yeah.
Right. And there's so much of me that was like, I just want to like scramble back, but I'm here now.
Yeah.
I'm here now. And based off of the dreams and the visions and the words that God has given me, here's the thing. Like, I'm actually called to be an entrepreneur, right? Like, when I look at my father, when I look at my mother, when I look at the legacy that is there, my grandparents have both, have passed away. That farm is still there.
Yeah.
That land is still there. My father is 70 years old, right? Still working a dream that really didn't get a chance to elevate because he didn't have it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't even understand what giving up even is because I know that if I tap into, I don't have any other option to because my daughter and my son are going to have to do the same thing. So if I don't do it now, they're going to have to. So for me, it's like, okay.
And it's going to be even harder for them. That's going to be even
right. And I see my father, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we don't have the best relationship, right? But the things that I would want to do to support my dad, I can't even do. So I got to do with my own business so that he can see, right, that wherever his shortcomings were in any way, shape, and form, God's still, right? And so even now at this space that I'm at now, it's like no matter what the numbers look like, it may be a new business, it may be a new city, right? Whatever the case may be, I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the choice to not.
Yeah. I've been looking at, I'm in this master class and I've been looking at the Food That Built America series. And I think about so many of those people.
Yeah.
The struggles and the ups and downs.
Right.
And the in-between points of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Burger King, which was instant Burger King.
Absolutely.
White Castle.
Absolutely
and just so many of them. And I was just like, oh my goodness, God, like, I'm not exempt from this thing. Like, but these people got millions of locations all over the world. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
So
because what they're selling is false, right? So we look at the business of the actual government and the FDA, which is
Yeah.
approving foods in the United States of America that's not even able to be digested.
Yeah.
When you go out of the country, there are things that people do not even eat.
Yeah.
People lose weight and or even get sick because of the contamination, which it shouldn't even be contaminated, right? But it is because of what we eat in America. We don't even have access, right, to things in our neighborhood.
Right.
The Whole Foods is way too expensive for most African American families or people of color, right?
Yeah.
We look at Aldi, which is a subset of a Trader Joe's, right? Which yet and still it's organic or whatever the case may be. But even like our meats, like chicken, shouldn't even be ate, right? And so when we look at the Taco Bells and the things like that, like what they're selling is death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like our corner stores, our liquor stores, like that is what they're selling. So food is so very important. So no, you wouldn't be popular like a McDonald's or whatever the case. That's like you saying you would be the most popular president.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not. Obama wasn't popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was for a reason, right?
Yeah.
We can't even get into that because that right now we can't even get into. We can't even get into Obama era.
We gotta be safe.
But no, you're not going to be popular saying anything that's truth.
Yeah.
Because the truth is McDonald's, Burger King, no fast food restaurant should be alive, right? But if they give you food that you can afford, but the food is no quality, you're not going to think about it because you ate.
Yeah.
But you're eating death and disease and sickness. And that comes up later.
Yeah.
We look at our grandparents, right? My grandfather probably drank every day. Dude was 95 when he passed away. Yeah. My grandma was in her 90s, right? Why? There was no fast food. Fast food, what is that?
Yeah.
They made everything, they ate everything on their farm. Yeah. So that is the reason why those places are so popular, right? It's fast, it's quick, but people don't have the knowledge and the education that they need. Baby, if I was them, I'll take my link card and get so much sea moss and black seed oil and tons of vegetables and fruit.
Yeah. What's the benefits of sea moss?
Yes. So it is we're not really close to the core of the earth, and so we don't get our minerals, right? So when we go to different countries, we see how much more light people are from the inside, right? They're more energized from the inside. Yeah. That's because they're getting their minerals. So our sea moss is going to give us the 94 out of 102 minerals that we need. And then we have our beet juice, right, which was oxygen into our blood, right? So those that deal with high blood pressure and diabetes, right, it's going to give more oxygen to you. And then we have our aloe, right, which is going to be the I'm looking for the humectant. So it's basically going to be the hydrator of the gut. And the gut is where all disease starts. So if you're not using the bathroom 3 times a day, even if you use the bathroom 1 time a day, you're already being set up for disease. Right. And so something like my product, Pink Moss, will not only clear out your gut, detox you, right? But it will also clear out your blood, give you more oxygen to breathe, right? And then also give you a hydrator so that when you do have food that comes through your system, it can more so easily move those things out. Yeah. The hardest part about being in the industry that I'm in, right? Because I believe that what you eat, right, actually makes you beautiful. The hardest part about that is that people don't eat right. Yeah. So they'll get supplements, but if you don't have a regulated like diet, then the supplements will only like keep you, but they won't actually bring you to the space of optimum health. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the hardest part about, what I do, because people like this went away for a while, but then you may have ate dairy. Like this eczema breakout that I have, me drinking whole milk. Yeah. Foolery. Yeah. I wanted some ice cream. And look what happened. Yeah. Face jacked up, skin over here, had to put on some makeup, right? Yeah. God set me back. Now, this has been 70 days. Wow. It still is coming off the layers, right? Because my body was basically had a parasite or issue with it. So yeah, that's the full product. We intend to have more added to the line. But we have to get more funding, build out, and then I have so many ideas for more because I really want it to be a full health and wellness inspired beauty line. But we just started with Pink Moss.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest struggle and challenge of rebuilding?
My emotions.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Yeah.
So like my emotions more than anything, just because you have to separate like what you do from who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's very much difficult because having a business is like having a child.
Absolutely, it is.
Right? And so you give your mind, body, and soul to it. And the reality is that you are not in control of the outcome of a thing, but unfortunately you would take on the feelings that are associated with anything else. If there's a loss, there's a loss, and you have that grief.
Yeah.
So I think that more than anything, it is the emotions that come along with the weekly fluctuations of the instability of the income. That you can have a $10,000 week or month, and then you can make nothing
the next month,
right? And
or
then,
the next week,
right? So then, if you don't have savings or things stored up, you know what I'm saying, then how are you going to pivot immediately to make sure that your bills are paid, etc.? So I think that more than anything, the emotions, and then finding the strategy. The strategies are found in business coaching, and they are found in your community. All my friends are business owners. Good. I don't have anyone around me that's not one that can say, I have this resource, I have this connection,
I love it.
I have this person you need to talk to, whatever the case may be. I'm going to figure it out. Here's a grant writer. Here's a credit consultant. Here's a business loan. Here's a business coaching, right? You got to have that, because not only is God building a business in you, but he's building you. Yeah. So if you can just like submit to the community that God gives you to create the person that's trying to be created, success is going to be completed, whether it looks like this one, we making 100,000 a month, or we decided at 5 years to pivot and do real estate.
Oh, I love it.
Same thing, right? Because the reality is that I decided to be committed to the call. It doesn't matter what the vehicle is. Yeah. The contract is the contract. Yeah. It don't matter if I switch up. I may do a trade in. Yeah. But that contract's that contract. Yeah. You feel me?
No, I understand.
And gaining your confidence from the character. I had an event at Benny's Beats. It was my second event. That event was one of the probably the most saddest days of the last 3 months, because I had 3 clients show up. I just left off of a launch event where it was almost 150 people there. Yeah. The next day, one of my clients said to me, "I'm so happy nobody else came." I said, "Why did you say that?" She said, "Amanda, because you're growing so fast, I don't get the opportunity to speak with you. So it was great to be able to sit there and speak with you." And in my head, I'm like, "You just wanted to talk to me?" Yeah. I was so happy to talk to you and everybody else there. Right. And just having that option and opportunity. And I said, "Girl, nobody even came." She said, "You're looking at the wrong thing." I said, "What am I supposed to look at?" She said, "That you're consistent." So being consistent is enough. She said, "Enough for you and for God." Yeah. What else is there? Are you going to show up? Are you going to show up whether it's 100 people, whether it's 1,000 people, or are you just living for that? Because if you're living for that, you're not gonna.
You're gonna fail every time. Every time.
So for me, it was just like, okay, I'm consistent. She's like, "You're consistent. So whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Are you gonna do this or not?" Yeah. And when it doesn't work in the way you want it to, what are you gonna do? And that's the pivoting. So yeah.
I love it. How can we support you? Like, how can people follow you?
So my site for purchase is pinkmossme.com. Okay. I think. Yes, it is.
If it's not, we'll make sure it's.
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram at The A Show. Okay. Right. Also on TikTok, we'll be starting marketing there as well at The A Show. I'm on Instagram at pinkmossme. Okay. And I mean, yeah, find me. We're gonna pivot our marketing in the next 3 months, and then I'm gonna hop on TikTok. I think TikTok is gonna be my space. I am an absolute lunatic. I'm silly, I'm comedic, but it's just my life, right? So I'm gonna hop on there sometime next year. We'll see where we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Yeah. I appreciate you for doing this with me. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. I'm excited. So I thank you.
Yeah, and I thank you. I thank you for seeing me. I thank you for reaching out to me. I thank you for connecting to me. Yeah. You know, it's so great to have somebody honor and see you outside of because sometimes you're close, they don't see you, right?
They don't.
But it feels good to be seen by somebody else. So thank you for your professionalism. Yeah. Your branding is amazing. The email that you sent, the visuals that you posted on Instagram, this space is amazing. Yeah. So I just hope that you see what it is you're called to do, and that is to see other people. And if if you do that for me or for anybody else, know that that's more than enough because we need that. And if we don't have anybody else to see us, then sometimes we feel hidden.
Yeah.
But you reaching out to me and doing this, it lets me know that everything that I'm doing is not in vain and that there's more to come.
It is more to come. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all. Make sure you guys tune in. Follow Amanda. Go buy some sea moss.
Right.
Go do what you need to do. Get healthy.
Yep.
Like get healthy, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, everything. So I'll see you guys soon. Until next time.